Hi again, it's Marcy from Quick Start Piano, where adults learn by playing the music they love most. And today we're going to talk about All of Me by John Legend. We're going to take a look at that, and we'll have several versions from very easy for beginners up to a little bit more complicated. And we're going to look at a couple different ways. One of them is with a written arrangement. If you can see, All of Me is in here in this book. And the other is with some chord sheets, and I will show you how those work too. And then I'll mention with this book, I picked this one because it is a really simple arrangement, suitable for late beginners, but it also has chord symbols in it. So you could sort of combine the book and the chord sheets and make the song your own, which is a lot of what we're about here at Quick Start Piano. So what I'm going to do is give you some options for if you're a brand new beginner. I've got a chord chart here, and we have E minor. So if you know how to make your chord shells on the piano, you've just got an E chord shell. And this will be the familiar piano intro that you've heard the most. And then we've got a C next, but instead of moving to C home bass, what we're going to do is we're going to spread your fingers up into that up chord position. So you'll have an E in the bottom and a C in the top. And then for the G, you're going to hold that position. So you've got 6 notes, and you're just going to slide your hand down 1 note. So you've got a D and a B. And then the next one will be D home bass. So we're going E, spread your fingers up, the top note is C, then hold that shape and slide everything down, and then back to D home position. And that you'll start to recognize it here. I'll add a little pedal. And that, even though that exact intro only plays for part of the song, you can actually sing a lot of that song with that under it. Way to start off by playing the chords and letting the melody, either you hum it or you imagine it. It's always a little bit easier to play just the accompaniment than trying to add the melody. And then the other option we could do, instead of doing these chord shells in both hands, what you could do is play the root note on your left hand. So we've got an E, and I'm going to move my hand so my third finger's on E to make it a little easier. E, and then C, and then G, D, and my right hand will keep playing those chord shells. Which sounds really nice. Now you've got a bass player in the bottom and the chords up on the top for the harmony. Now if you decide you want to play the melody in the right hand, what I would do is switch that rhythm over to the left. Because now we don't really have room for a bass player anymore, so we're just going to do chords. We got the first note. That my left hand was still playing the exact same pattern that I've been using all along. Now I'm just putting the melody note in the right hand. And if you were to open up this book, it is almost exactly the same as what we were just playing. And the chord symbols are definitely the same. So you could choose how you wanted to play it. Right hand chords, left hand bass, both hand chords, left hand chords, right hand melody. And that gives you a lot of different options. Also, if you've been studying chords for a while and you want to add more notes to this, it will make it a little easier. I'm going to play the version that they've got here. And the thing about these arrangements where John Legend is singing it, and then they transcribe it, they put it on piano and make an arrangement, and it will not sound exactly the same. Every arranger is a little bit different, and you might not always agree that you like it. So that's the other reason for thinking in chords. It gives you the flexibility to look at what's on this page and maybe change it a little if you don't like it. So I'm going to play the first page. So So that was nice. And if you're just reading that off the page, it's a really good arrangement. The thing is, we're always capable of playing more difficult music than we are reading it. If we were to write out what John Legend actually sang, it would be super complicated to figure out the rhythm. Whereas if you just copy it and imitate it by playing on the piano, it'll be a little easier. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the notes here as a guide, and I'm going to be thinking about the chords, and I'm going to be thinking about the melody that I've heard and trying to make the melody sound more like that. I'm not going to be stuck just on their rhythm. I like it the way it is for here, though. So you might like that better, you might not like it better, and that's the great part about making music your own. You can tweak it a little bit. It still sounds like All of Me, but it's going to sound like your version of All of Me. So if you're interested in this book, you can get it on sheetmusicplus.com is the largest retailer of sheet music. And if you would like to take a peek at these chord sheets and start thinking about chords, there's a link where you can find these. So I hope you have fun with it. Let me know how it goes.